So, I'm going to read 1 Timothy 4, chapter 4, verse 12. The reason I'm reading this is because, TM 4:112. It talks about how just because you're young doesn't mean people can look down on you, that you should set an example. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but instead set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, and in purity. Paul was mentoring Timothy in this verse. Timothy was actually a teenager when Paul talked to him. Today, I'm talking to you how younger people can also be used by God. Some very important stories actually involved young people. David killed the giants, Mary had Jesus, and even a boy we don't even know his name fed thousands of people with a basket of bread and a couple of fish. David and Mary were only about 14 years old, but one story I didn't mention stood out to me. I'm going to read 1 Samuel 8 through 10. The Lord called out to Samuel for the third time. Samuel got up and went to Eli. He said, "Here I am, you called out to me." Then Eli realized that the Lord was calling the boy. So Eli told Samuel, "Go lie down. If anyone calls you again, say, 'Speak, Lord, I'm listening.'" So Samuel went down and lay down in his place. The Lord came and stood there. He called out just as he'd done the other times. He said, "Samuel, Samuel." Then Samuel replied, "Speak, I am listening." Samuel spoke to God. Eli mentored Samuel and about how to speak to God. It's just like how Paul mentored Timothy. You know, something kind of crazy happened a couple of days ago. It was sort of long ago. But during the service, when our youth pastor was talking, it wasn't Diane, but it was someone else. He was kind of talking about God, our jobs and how we might take over Diane's place one day. But I was kind of looking at the ceiling, dazing off. I do that a lot. But whenever I was doing that, God actually spoke to me. I was thinking about going to join the Lego company, but I still wanted to be a preacher in my dad's footsteps. But then God said, "Do what you wish, but follow me." And then whenever I talked to Diane, she kind of talked to me about part-time pastor jobs and how I can still work at the Lego company and be a preacher.
That's right.
I think I might do that.
Amen.
Anyway, I found it pretty shocking that God spoke to me. God doesn't just talk to you if you're related to somebody who works that involves God. Like my dad. It can happen to anyone. But if you get spoken to God, you might need a little mentoring yourself to speak to God like Samuel needed. I challenge you grown-ups to get a kid and mentor him and help him grow stronger spiritually. And even if you're not an adult, maybe you can mentor somebody else, another kid, so they can find Christ and grow too.
Amen.
Let's all pray. Dear God, thank you for this day, and just thanks for letting it be so great. And thanks that we could do our skit that we just did. And thank you that the praise team could also sing for you, Lord, and thanks that I'm up here. Please help us all to travel safely home, and thank you that we could all travel safely here. Amen.